Good morning. Begin with, I've been going down to Las Vegas on a very regular basis, in fact twice in 24 hours, to meet with the policy formation group of the county so that everybody in the county stays on the same page. And this goes everything from UNLV to the public schools, to the police, fire, other emergency operations all through the county. And first thing I want to make a mention, and we've discussed this numerous times, we are not in a crisis. We are not in a crisis. We're in a difficult situation, but it is not a crisis. Let me tell you, first of all, what we're doing. To start with, as I mentioned, we're communicating daily with other regional leaders. This is not once a week. Let's see what's going on. This is daily, sometimes by the hour. Okay. Right now, Fire Chief Jayson Andrus is acting as our emergency manager for the city. Okay. Now, how does this all come about? Sunday night, I declared a state of emergency in the city of Mesquite. Now, this is an operational, not a medical state of emergency. I want you to know there's a great difference. And what this allows me to do is take over as CEO of the city, which I have not done and probably will not do. Aaron Baker is doing an outstanding job of it, and there's absolutely no need for me to take over. Should I decide that things aren't going the way I want them to go in the city, at that point I can make that decision, but it's totally unnecessary right now. Okay. We're updating daily. Okay. We're involved again with all the partners in Clark County, the cities of Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, Mesquite, and Boulder City, attempting to stay on the same page at all times. This helps better manage the virus situation and its impacts to the hospital emergency rooms, the local government agencies, the businesses, the residents, and the visitors. Okay. Right now, we're letting people know exactly what's going on, but city operations have changed. And what we're doing now is changing staffing levels and assignments. We're having some people work from home if necessary. There's an issue of child care because, not a serious issue by any means at this point with city employees, but they have closed the Sunshine Academy, which brings a lot of little preschoolers back home. However, I believe at this point we have had one employee that's involved in that situation. As you know, we're shutting down the museum. It's basically shut down. The senior center now is shut down, but there will be food service as a drive-through. Recreation center is closed right now. The city hall and everything else is operating, but if you could call in rather than come in, it would be a lot easier for everybody involved. Okay. Crews are being repositioned right now to help other areas of the city operations. They'll be cleaning the parks, sanitizing them more frequently because we know that with the schools closed, kids are going to want to go to the parks. Now, the Clark County parks, a different situation. They've closed their parks. Now, this poses an issue because where did all these young people go during the day? I heard them say, well, you know, they can stay home. Well, I was in public education for many years. Take my word for it, they do not stay home. The little ones maybe, the big ones no. Okay. Right now, if you have media inquiries, I want you to contact Gately here. There he is, way in the back down there, John Gately, and he'll handle your media for you. Also, by the way, if you look at Mesquite Local News, they are doing a daily update of what is taking place, and then this is online, mesquitelocalnews.com. On Thursdays, they will have a summation of the week on the regular hard copy of the newspaper. This is something unique for this organization because at one time, of course, you know, you'd wait till the end of the week to find out what was taking place. Right now, you're going to get daily updates. These updates are coordinated with the city of Mesquite and with Mason View Hospital. So the message coming through is the same all the way across. I heard this morning a lot of conversation, obviously, this is a business organization, about protecting the businesses and finances and money, but I want to talk a little bit about the humanitarian aspect of what's going on. So we've been addressing this clinically as a virus and business as obviously we have to stay in business if possible. I want to bring out a couple of points. We have a number of people in this city that are either homebound or semi-homebound. What I mean by that is they will venture out to go to the market only when necessary. They can't stand for great lengths of time. They don't drive very far. They don't drive in the evening hours, things of this nature. And I'm asking people, and I've discussed this with a number of people already, that every one of us has neighbors that are elderly or infirmed in some fashion. And in a time of, quote, not crisis, we still tend to ignore them, and it's, I've got mine and I'm happy with that, and everybody else who cares. And it's unfortunately, it's a human nature, and I've observed this in the markets already. I've seen this in Las Vegas. I spoke with the undersheriff, where people in line that are quite elderly have had their grocery carts taken from them by other people. We say this can't happen. Yes, it does happen, and it has happened. What I'm asking everybody to do is check on your neighbors. Are you okay? Do you need anything? Can I go to the store for you? I spoke the other day with an 88-year-old man who says, I'm going to go to the market. I said, when are you going? I said, 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, you better be prepared to stand for a long period of time in line. And his comment to me was, I can only stand for about 5 minutes. Well, you can see the situation that's going to occur. It's going to be very difficult for these people. The other issue we did talk about, and I think it's wonderful, the Small Business Administration and loans and so forth. We also have a great number of people in our community that don't take out business loans. They don't have a business. They also have no money. They also have no credit cards. When they get paid, they do their shopping. And you can see this twice a month as a rule in the markets and in other stores. Well, what do they do when they run out of food on Thursday and they don't get paid till the following Monday? And the answer is very simple. They don't eat. It's just, that's what it is. Okay. And what I'm asking you to do also is check with these people if you know them. If they work for you, if they say, boss, I need an advance, think about this, because these are very, very serious issues that we're dealing with them every day. The other issue is asking people to hunker down, and a lot of people will hunker down and they're too proud to go out and do anything. They need food, they need supplies, they need medicines, but they're not going out because they were told hunker down. I can mention this as a fact because as a child I went through quarantine for 2 weeks for a polio epidemic in our town. Bulbar polio was rampant in Duluth, Minnesota at that time. And I remember the health inspector, I was about 8, 9 years old, somewhere around there, coming to the house, and all the houses were wood in those days, so they just pounded into the side of your house or on your front door. Quarantine. And it was 2 weeks, as I recall. And of course we couldn't go out and play with the other kids in the neighborhood and so forth. We didn't really understand why until our parents told us, well, there's a polio epidemic. And I remember asking my father, well, aren't you working? He says, I can't go to work. I'm quarantined. Everybody in the neighborhood is quarantined. So this is something that could occur. Can we get through this? Absolutely. But again, it's reaching out to the neighbors, reaching out to your friends, making sure everything's okay. And if you know anything about seniors, and I'm a senior, well seniored, there's an awful lot of people that are awfully proud. And when you ask them, is everything okay? The answer you get is yes. Ask a couple more times, would you please? Because it's not always yes.
We'll get there. Good morning. Thanks, Carol, for allowing the mayor to come up with me and take care of some of his talking points. I didn't want to be put in a position of letting you know what's going on in the city and giving the mayor nothing to talk about. So I appreciate Mayor Litman being willing to come up and visit with us. We are communicating, as he said, on a regular basis. We're good. On a regular basis. Oh, man. Okay. My name is Jayson Andrus. I appreciate Leslie and her presentation. We are talking with Mesa View and their staff on a daily basis, if not multiple times throughout the day. We're grateful for them and for the wonderful community partner that they've been in addressing some of these community concerns with COVID-19. And we, as the mayor and everyone else stated before this, we are gonna work through this as a community. We appreciate your partnerships. I, real quick, visited with many of you in the last 48 to 96 hours over the phone, and I just can't say enough about what events like this and our small community and our relationships do, not in days like today, but weeks leading up to this. It's nice for me to be able to call Tony at Highland Manor and ask him, what are you doing to protect your organization from COVID-19? And he rattled off a list a mile long on things that he's implemented within Highland Manor to protect his organization. And many of you, if not all of you, have taken precautionary steps to do this. And this makes meetings like this much more easier. And so we're appreciative to you for that. We have, as the mayor declared, a state of emergency on Sunday evening. That is, again, a procedural step that allows the city of Mesquite, if necessary, to discuss and opens the pocketbook to the federal and the state government if needed. As you know, President Trump has already declared a national emergency. Right now, I feel like we are staying ahead of the bell curve here in Mesquite, much because of what you're doing within your organizations. We have activated our Emergency Operations Center at City Hall. It's up on the second floor at City Hall. Many of you have been there. If you have not, we'd be more than happy to give you a tour at another time. Probably not this week. But we're activated to a level 3, which is we're a monitoring situation. On a daily basis, we are talking to the Clark County Office of Emergency Management as well as the State Office of Emergency Management. Yesterday, we had an hour-and-a-half long phone call with FEMA. They have given the city of Mesquite, and it is coming, one pod, point of distribution, and this will be for drive-through testing. We will coordinate with Mesaview when that is coming. We currently have no time frame right now, but there are nine pods that have been slated for Clark County. One of them will come to Mesquite. The FEMA will give the personnel, they will send everything that we need, so no one will have, Mesaview will not have to take anyone from their organization to help run it. This will be, FEMA will run this point of distribution. And what we hope to move through is to have a drive-through testing. And that's what FEMA has indicated yesterday in our conference call. They will be running 7 days a week for 12-hour shifts, from 7 to 7 are the hours that will be operational. But again, we'll be working in coordination with Mesaview when that happens. But we did receive that information yesterday. I apologize. I want to make sure I get all my talking points. I keep hitting my power button on my tablet. Are there any questions that any of you have for the city of Mesquite right here, right now? Anything that we can do to help local businesses? I know over the weekend we met with all of the clergy here in town, and we've had a very similar meeting to what we're doing today. So we know that they're taking those similar steps with their congregations, and in any recovery process, our local clergy are a huge component to a community recovery. And so they are well aware, and we are communicating with them on a regular basis. Any other questions at this point? I'll very quickly, I apologize, make sure I look up, make sure I don't have any other things to mention, and we'll turn the time back over to Carol.
So Jason?
Yes.
So if people, the best place to get information, like when this pod's coming, is that at that help.mesquite.gov? Is that
Thank you,
kind of
Adam, I
information
appreciate
like
that. Yeah, so as has been up on the screen, it's a help.mesquitenv.gov. We are really trying to, again, coordinate with Mesaview and all our stakeholders to go to one site. Things are changing. One of the difficult parts of this, it's changed so quickly. We have a conference call at 9 o'clock, and by 1 o'clock, those numbers are off have already changed. And so what we found is our society is so news hungry now with social media. We're trying to just be accurate. We really want to be accurate. We may be a little slower, but we want our community to have the ability to go to that website and say, okay, that's the latest information, not from, my next door neighbor who, is going down this rabbit hole. But we're trying to verify. But on that website, we're also citing our sources, date and time. And so you know if it's been changed 5 days ago or 10 minutes ago. And so we're trying to stay on top of that. So appreciate the question, Adam. It's great.